The last couple chapters of The Jungle were interesting to say the least. It's really interesting that Yurgis got more into crime, especially because he was such a family man in the beginning, and I really had him pegged as somebody completely different. But I guess that was kind of Sinclair's ideas to make us think that this is what capitalism does to us. So I guess when he was doing his political grafting and when he starts mugging people and he stops even like caring about his victims, like he's not even the same person that he was when he came here. He has no family, no job, no values that he even came here with. So like it just shows that uh, this is what a corrupt system really does to somebody. Really turns you into a whole different person. He's not even Jurgis anymore. He changes his name a bunch of times, to get out of trouble. But he makes more money committing crimes than uh, going to his regular job, and that's kind of going against the American values and the dream he came here for. But it's kind of what capitalism is forcing him to do. So that was interesting. Also, I want to talk about a point. Jurgis is like hired as a position or for a boss on the killing beds or whatever, and then it was like during a time when the Packers were desperate to provide fresh meat to like protect their image, and I was just confused, like did they also hire an immigrant as a boss for their image, or was that not a thing at the time? I was just kind of confused on that. And then also wanted to talk about how Maria went into prostitution and how we talked about how I think one of the groups talked about in our class how far that they will go for money. I think that really truly is telling how far that they will go for money. And then also I thought it was interesting that they never blamed Jurgis for leaving. I would have been really upset, but it kind of just shows like that compassion that's hidden in this capitalistic society, I guess. Um, and then we also there was the part where the prostitutes were set free and their bail was paid for by the person who like owns them, and that's like so corrupt. Like even the judicial system is corrupt in this society. I think that's also what Sinclair was trying to tell us as well. Um, and then how he walks into a political meeting and then just to get warm, but is thrown out when he starts snoring. But then a couple chapters later walks into the socialist meeting and nods off, but doesn't get thrown out. Sorry, and he is kind of like surprised by all these ideas that socialists have. I thought, chapter 29, 30, whatever, it's a lot of pushing Sinclair's ideas. But I thought this particular passage was interesting. He had never been so stirred in his life. It was a miracle that had been wrought in him. He could not think at all. He was stunned, yet he knew that in the mighty upheaval that had taken place in his soul, a new man had been born. He had been torn out of the jaws of destruction. He had been delivered from a thraldom of despair. The whole world had been changed for him. He was free. He was free. So that's at the beginning of chapter 29. Like when he just starts realizing what capitalism is. I think that, or not capitalism, socialism. I think that kind of goes from like him coming here and capitalism changing him into a whole horrible person, and then him coming into just this one socialist meeting and him being like, wow, my life has changed. It's kind of like what Sinclair was trying to do, kind of twist him around in this capitalist socialist world. Yeah, but I wasn't a big fan of the last couple chapters. Thought that there were a lot of his ideas just being pushed. But overall, I liked the book. Thought it was a good read.